Hey, it's Chris. Today we're checking out the Beats Fit Pro. These are brand new from Beats. And if you're wondering, should you get the new AirPods 3 or these new Beats, this is gonna be a great video for you because I'm gonna be referencing both throughout the video. I'm really excited. I've been checking these out for close to a week now. You might've seen these leak already. I think Kim Kardashian was out checking these out in public already. So you knew these were coming, but here they are. And you know what's awesome? You have an equal chance of loving these whether you're an iPhone user or an Android user. This is the box for the Beats Fit Pro. This is the case. This is the case for the brand new AirPods 3. These are my AirPods Pro. So you kind of get an overview of what everything's looking like next to each other. But let's dig into the details and let me tell you what I think of these. Now, the big thing here is the wingtips. That's what you're gonna notice. You can just tell by the box here that these look sort of like studio buds, but they've got this extra wingtip. Well, what's that all about? Well, these are called Beats Fit Pro. Now you could take that two ways. Fit like fitness or fit like it fits well. Because I got a lot of feedback on my AirPods 3 video that said, hey, you know, I wanna like these, but they don't fit in my ear. But these Beats Fit Pros, on the other hand, are designed to have a universal fit. Part of that's the wingtip and part of it is interchangeable ear tips. That said, these are also sweat and water resistant. So I think the fit as in fitness is gonna apply here pretty well too. Now, when I first got my hands on these, the questions that immediately popped to mind is, number one, what's it feel like, you know, to have these wingtips? All right, and then my other thought was, I really love the studio buds in terms of their sound for music. I told you in that video. You can go check it out, I'll link it up down below. But for music, the sound was incredible. But what was the noise cancellation gonna be like? Because I felt like the noise cancellation on the studio buds was kind of lackluster, to be honest. All right, so these Beats Fit Pro also have ANC, active noise canceling, but how good is it? All right, well, let me go ahead and pop one of these in so that you have one that you can look at, see what it looks like to be worn, and one that we can talk about and discuss. Let me just tell you right off the bat, I find these really comfortable. Let's get that out of the way first. The wingtip thing, it's a big winner for me. I didn't know what to expect, but I've ended up really, really liking it. In fact, I found it so comfortable that if I'm wearing these for a few minutes, I don't even realize that they're in. For me, they're almost lighter and more comfortable with this wingtip than the AirPods 3, which already felt like I was wearing nothing in my ears. So that's really saying something. Now, I know it's gonna be different for everybody. Everybody's got different ears, I understand, but I'm just telling you my experience. These things are comfy. And in terms of like, do they stay in the ear? They absolutely do. So for the fitness side of the fit, I would be very comfortable wearing these if I was jogging, if I was like in the gym. Okay, that's all good then, but what about the sound? That's probably what matters the most then, right? Well, these have a custom transducer. It's built from the ground up for these specific Beats Fit Pro. It's not reused from another pair of Beats. And what that translates to, I had high hopes here, right? From the Beats Studio Buds. Those things sounded good for music. So I had high hopes and you know, I'm not disappointed. I'll just put it like that. All right, you know me, you know the drill. I get my Andy Mineo going. It's my go-to test subject here. Got Neverland 2 popped in on Apple Music. You know, let's just say this right off the bat. There's still this stigma around Beats that it's overly bassy, and that's just not true. It's 2021, almost 2022. It's not the same old Beats. When it comes to the sound, they sound very balanced to me. Now, I'm not an audiophile. I'm a regular person who's just gonna be using these and enjoying them. And nothing sounds distorted or out of whack. What I will say though is don't confuse overly bassy and powerful, because these are powerful, but these things kick. Feels more like a subwoofer in your ear than AirPods, for instance. The mids, the highs, the lows are all very discernible. Now, if you want an actual more in-depth, how did these work, sound, hold up in 3 months or 6 months, you know, I can do a follow-up. So get yourself subscribed if you like the vibe of this video and you want more Apple and Beats related content. Now we got 3 different listening modes here. We've got active noise cancellation, we've got transparency, and then we've got adaptive EQ. So the active noise cancellation, I have found that it's better. It's been upgraded a little bit versus the Studio Buds, which is a good thing. Like I said, the Studio Buds left something to be desired in the active noise cancellation department. With the Studio Buds, I almost didn't even know when the ANC was turned on. That's what I'm talking about. But here, I can definitely notice a difference. And I appreciate that because I tend to like being able to turn that on just because of my workflow, my day, where I'm working. Being able to tune out the rest of the world even a little bit helps a lot. So you can watch the screen here. I'm just tapping here to play and pause. You got these controls right here, which is nice. What you do is you hold down on the button, on the B, for switching between the different modes. Now the adaptive EQ is meant to automatically tune those lows and the mids to the shape of your ear in order to get what Beats says is superior sound quality and a consistent listening experience. Yeah, just using the ANC, even right now in this quiet room, I can just tell it blocks out my voice, it blocks out just the ambient sound more than the Studio Buds ever did. What I had to say about the adaptive EQ is basically what I said about the adaptive EQ in the new AirPods 3, which was, the thing is, I can't really tell what it's doing. It's just happening to me. And I guess the best I can do is say, things are sounding good, things are enjoyable, but I can't tell you that that's making a huge, enormous difference right now. But it's cool that it's there. It's not hurting anything, I'll say that. Also, these have spatial audio, and I just covered that in my AirPods 3 video too. So let me just say, for spatial audio, it's really, really great when you're watching some streaming content, like a movie, a video, something on Netflix, right? Disney Plus, something like that. And my example was Star Wars: The Mandalorian. Really enjoyed watching that on my iPad with spatial audio. We're waiting to see how it shapes up in the world of music. Sometimes it's noticeable, sometimes not. So it's great for streaming content, and I'm waiting to see what happens in the wider world of music with spatial audio to see what kind of a difference it really makes in the broader picture. But it's cool that it's here and there's a lot of potential, but you don't want to buy because there's a lot of potential. One thing that's great about these is that there's an Apple H1 chip on board. What does that mean? Well, if you're an iPhone user, it comes with lots of benefits. You get one-touch pairing. Really easy, fast setup. Love that. It's got audio sharing. So you got a friend who has some AirPods or some Beats and you want to listen to Neverland 2 together with one phone, you can do that. One cool thing is that you have this ear tip fit test. So I'm in the settings here and I tapped on the little eye next to Beats Fit Pro and you can see I can change the noise cancellation and whatever, but then I can go to ear tip fit test and this is going to help me decide which of the tips that were included with these Beats Fit Pro will be best for my particular ears and listening experience. Something else is cool with the H1 though is that you can do automatic switching between devices. So if you're using your iPad and you want to switch to your iPhone and you pick up your iPhone, it can just automatically switch the connection over for you and vice versa between your Mac as well. And some people love it, some people turn it off, but I think it's a nice feature. It depends on the kind of work that you do and how many devices you kind of interact with in a given time span. And then what's also cool is you get hands-free Siri. So you can just say, hey, you know what? I don't want to activate yours and interact with it, send a message or check the weather or make a reminder. That's really useful. And then also you pair this with your iPhone and you can use the iOS Find My app, which is going to help you locate these in case you lose them or they get stolen maybe, at least help you track them down a little bit. Now, personally, those are the types of features that take a pair of headphones and push them from being good to great, in my opinion. So if you are in the Apple ecosystem, you have the iPhone, that's just really, really great. It's a huge bonus. But Android users are not left out when it comes to Beats. There's a really great Beats app that you can download here. And of course you could still get Apple Music if you want to. So really the Beats brand is where Apple says, Android users, we're not forgetting about you. We want you to have a really great experience. So this is the Pixel 6 Pro and I've downloaded the app here. And what it lets me do is come in and still get a one-touch setup, which is really nice. You can still do the guided fit test, which is really nice. And you can actually customize the buttons here. You can remap them, which is really nice. Can't do that with AirPods 3 over here on the iPhone. So you got some extra functionality here. The other thing too that's nice about this app is that you get seamless updates. So you don't have to worry about it. All right, now a word about this case here. The case, it's big, there's no denying that. Now, when you compare it to the Beats Studio Buds case, they're just different dimensions. One is square and one is more of an oval. But when you compare the AirPods 3 case or even the AirPods Pro case to this case here, you can just see, I mean, it's bigger, it's chunkier. And for me, I don't really like having the Beats Fit Pro case in my pocket. So for me, whenever I'm using these Fit Pros, the case is gonna be, in the backpack or it's gonna stay on the desk or something. The case is just chunkier than I would like for keeping it in the pocket. One thing I do love though is the colors here. You got this gray with this just really subtle green on the inside, and that looks nice. The color combo actually reminds me more of something that Google would do with its Pixel lineup in years past. Definitely something different. And if you're not wanting to just be super mainstream with the AirPods white and you just want something a little bit more customized, personalized, that is cool. Now in terms of how these compare it to the Studio Buds, which I already told you I really like the sound of the Studio Buds. Well, look, the transducer in the new Fit Pros is 15% larger than the Studio Buds. So is it any wonder then that I'm sitting here saying these sound more powerful? And that said, I feel like they're still pretty compact. You could make the argument that these blend in better, especially with this gray, than having some white sticks sticking out of your ears, right? So I feel like it's a good balance of the power and the size and the look and the comfort. And I think out of these, honestly, it's gonna be really hard for me not to recommend the Fit Pros to just everybody out there. Number one, for that universal fit. Number two, just for the sound quality. And number three, I just feel better about recommending them now because of the ANC upgrade. The noise cancellation is noticeably improved over the Studio Buds. So because the ANC really matters to me, and because it's more improved here, what's the battery life gonna be like if you're using ANC all the time? Well, you're gonna get 6 hours of listening with these buds with ANC on. That's pretty good. That's a good chunk of your day. And I think I could wear these for 6 hours without any ear fatigue. That's how good they're feeling. Now, if you add in the case, that's gonna bump things up to 21 hours with ANC or transparency, either or. So that's gonna give you a total of 27 hours with ANC or transparency. But what I really like here is the fast fuel. You get Beats fast fuel, and see how nicely that snapped in? By the way, this was like a puzzle for me at first. The first time that I took these out and tried to put them back in, it was like, whoa, I couldn't figure it out. And honestly, it was like frustrating. And then when I learned like just straight out and down, that's how you get them in, then it was like, okay, I got this figured out, but it took me a second. Okay, but the fast fuel here is gonna give you 1 hour of use for 5 minutes of charging. That is nice, right? That's going to the gym right there. That's not bad. Total charge time though, if you wanna go from 0 to fully juiced, is 1.5 hours. Also not that bad, I would say. If there's anything wrong with these other than having an extra large case here, I haven't run into it yet. And I know there's a lot of cynical people out there just looking for me to just say, I hate this and I hate this and I hate this, but I don't hate these. I really like them. I find myself wanting to use them constantly. And that's a really good sign. So these retail for 199 bucks. Now I've only had a few days with them, like I said. So if you want a longer term review, get yourself subscribed and I'll fill you in on how did they hold up. And you know, once you've lived with something a little bit more, sometimes some subtle things can be noticed that you can't just notice right off the bat. So this is my initial impressions, but for 199 bucks with active noise cancellation that works much better than the Studio Buds, I would say absolutely spend the extra $20 because these new AirPods 3 are 179. Absolutely spend that extra $20 to go with these Fit Pros, I think. I think that's just obvious from my usage. And by the way, that's not to put the AirPods 3 down. Like some people are just gonna like this better for the shape, for the look, for something. But for me, you guys probably have an idea being a subscriber just from this video of kind of like what I use these for, what I value. These are so great. I'm really excited. How is this my job, getting to do this? So what I'm gonna do is put links to my AirPods 3 video and the Beats Studio Buds video down in the description so you can check those out too, do some comparing before you hit purchase. Otherwise, I'll put these down linked up for you as well. So if you just like the sound of them, you wanna check out the price, that'll be down there too. Make sure you're subscribed to @DailyTech, spelled Daily Tekk on Instagram and Twitter. There's a lot of stuff happening there, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Later.